process that you feel like has that you're carrying with you into these next 10 weeks?
Yeah, no, I think I've had kind of the same mindset my whole career that I've ever made the playoffs, is just being consistent and finishing and not making mistakes. Last year I had a mistake at the Roval and it bit me and cost us a chance to win the championship. So yeah, if you can be consistent and finish and get good stage points, you can help yourself out quite a bit. So that's the mindset again.
You guys were able to kind of, I don't want to say rally from that, but still had enough performance, one at Homestead. We're in the championship for the Owners' Championship. What did you guys learn about yourselves and your relationship with Cliff Daniels, if anything, that kind of translated into success this year?
Yeah, I think, well, last year, was just very difficult on many fronts. A lot of adversity throughout the year, speed-wise, mistakes and all that. And we still, were in the Final Four for the Owners' Championship. So it was a good, kind of realization that our team is extremely good. And, we just cleaned things up. We could be really strong, and I feel like we did that. This year, I feel like although results probably look very similar, I think we've been a way better team, consistently this year. So we've challenged for a lot more wins this year. So I think we're in a good spot going into the playoffs, and hopefully we can just be smooth and quietly make our way through.
What's been the message this week from Cliff to the team about how to approach the next 10 weeks? Has there been a message?
I'm not sure. We usually I usually hear the message Sunday morning. So I think he's probably talked to the team a lot throughout the week. But he's really good at kind of motivating us and saying the right thing at the right time. And usually the pre-race meetings are very motivational.
You reach a point in your career where if you don't reach the championship four, it's a disappointment, or do you kind of lower the bar a little bit in terms of expectations and how you look at things?
I don't know. It hasn't been that long since I won a championship, so I've only gone 1 year without winning one. So where I don't necessarily. I'm trying to think how I felt last year. Last year it felt shitty because I screwed up at the Roval and took myself out of it. So that wasn't fun to deal with. But at the end of the year, we still had 3 wins, and that's not a bad year. This year we've got 3 wins as well. Won the All-Star race. So if I don't win the championship, for sure I'm gonna be disappointed. We didn't achieve the goal, but it wasn't a disappointment from start to finish. We won more than a lot of people did. Already at this point, we still have 10 races left. So I try to, I'm a glass half full guy most of the time, so I try to set realistic expectations as well.
You don't get frustrated if somebody doesn't pick you in their picks for the Final Four, do you? Because it's so tight and so hard to do. We talked it on the air last night. Your name came up a lot, but you get to the wire. There's a lot of good people, and you're right there, right? And you said quietly you would do it. So are you like the stealth guy?
I don't know. I haven't listened to Sirius XM NASCAR radio, so I don't know where I stack up. But no, it is tough. When you really look at it, there's 16 guys in the playoff, and you could honestly probably make a case for most everybody on how or why they could be the champion at the end of the year. So no, I don't get my feelings hurt if I'm not number one on everybody's list.
So it's hard though when you probably don't stack up anyone. You don't look at the competition that way. You just figure yourself out and keep rolling.
Yeah, that's the best thing I think you can do, is just to focus on yourself and take each week, kind of one race at a time and adjust from there. And just try and do a good job.
I think there's been a lot made of the 9 and the 48 not advancing to the drivers' playoffs. Obviously, the 9 was in the owners' bracket. Excuse me. Knowing that you and William are eligible for this drivers' championship, does Hendrick Motorsports approach this any differently, having 2 guys going for that title and having the 9 and 48 kind of be more willing to help you guys in any way possible?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure. I think we all work really well together as it is, so I don't see that changing. Maybe if and I don't know if there's any R&D stuff coming or not, but I could see if there was any R&D things that Alex would probably get it excuse me, get it first, and depending on where Chase is and the owner's points, which he's going to do a really good job. You know, I think he's got a good shot to make it to the Final Four on the owner side of things. So, but yeah, I don't really know. I think we all work really well together, so it's hard to totally abort and change everything up. When we're into this point in the season.
You've had so much success on every different track type throughout your career, especially the last 2 or 3 years now. Is there one that particularly jumps out for you over these next 10 weeks as maybe a best opportunity to perform, or maybe a struggle point where you guys feel like you need to make the most improvements?
Well, I think the first round are 3 great tracks for us. You know, Darlington, Kansas, Bristol are really, really good. The second round, you know, Texas will be hopefully a good track for us. Talladega, you know, it's Talladega. And then the Roval's a good track for us as well. I think if we can make it in the round of 8, I like that better than the round of 12. You know, we got Vegas in there. We almost won there earlier this year. Homestead's probably my best track. And then Martinsville we won earlier this year. So I would love to make it to the round of 8 because I think we'd have a good shot. But you just never know. You know, the sport kind of evolves each week. So you don't know if you're going to be as strong the second time around as you were earlier in the year.
Is there a weak point, do you feel like, to this 5 team right now? Do you feel like you guys are where you want to be collectively?
I don't know if you're ever where you want to be, but I think if we can put it all together, we're really close to that. So it's been hard to have consistent weeks. I think for everybody, everybody can look at their season in each race and be like, we could have done this a little better. But I think if we just can execute, really, is the part where I've struggled here. It seems like lately, but I think all the ingredients are there. Just got to put it all together, and we'll be super strong.
I think there was a point in your career where people still look at you as, despite how much talent you had, as an underdog in terms of playoffs. You're very well cleared that bar now. But when you look at competitors like the 47, the 23, and the 34, who some people will still look at from the outside looking in and say, those guys are the underdogs right now. How important is it to not overlook anyone in this 16-car field over these next 10 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you, especially in the next era, I don't think you can overlook anybody. It's everybody's so equal, and those underdogs have done a really good job this year of executing each race and finishing, where they probably deserve or a little bit better. So I look at Ricky. He's probably had his best season by far to date, and he's been super consistent. He's had a lot of speed at times, and those races that he's had speed, he's finished up there too. So I think you can't overlook them guys at all because they're going to be consistent. They're going to do a good job, and always too in the playoff start. Even the good teams, there's always somebody that their team just does a really good job of executing and making themselves stand out. So hopefully that's us this year.
Do you feel like there's any one particular competitor that kind of jumps out as either a favorite or your biggest threat?
I think Martin Truex and William have been the 2 best guys consistently all year long. I think maybe not necessarily the fastest every week, but they're about they're top 3 guys every week, and then they do a really good job at executing. So I look at those 2. They have a lot of playoff points as well. So I think not that they're obviously guaranteed to make it to Phoenix, but I think they've got the best shot where we sit right now.